Crazy God story. I used to run a nonprofit mechanic company for a living. I did some work for this guy one time on his van. I didn't really get to talk to him about Jesus because we didn't interact a whole lot because he was busy. I wanted to tell him about Jesus, but the opportunity just never really came up. Years later, I had hurt my right rotator cuff. I couldn't use my right arm and wasn't working. He calls me up and says, hey, I need some work done on my van. I was going to tell him no, and the Holy Spirit said, say yes, do it. So I did, and I was planning on sharing the gospel with him when he came over, but when he got there, he said, man, you changed my life. The fact that you were a Christian who lived like Jesus said impacted me so much. Me and my wife and kids started going to church. We got saved, and our life is radically different. Here's the thing. I was living in surrender to God. I obeyed God to start a nonprofit mechanic company. I obeyed God to talk to this guy, and that's when I got to find out that my first act of obedience, impacted this guy. Here's the thing. I didn't just have one moment where I said, I surrender to you, God. I followed through. I lived in complete obedience to God in every part of my life. I lived the surrender. I confess.